Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Where were you born?
I'm born in Bangladesh. My home district is Sylhet.
How many years did you spend there for migrating?
I was there in almost 35 years to UK in 2002. And my education, my born, brought up, everything is in Bangladesh.
I was born in North London.
So you brought up here as well?
Yes, I was brought I was brought up in North London too. And I was born in Barnet Hospital. Barnet! Start again.
Where were you born?
In Barnet Memorial Hospital.
Where were you brought up?
In a house.
Okay. In what country?
England.
Bangladesh brought up is so Bangla fulla language aslo nani.
Bangla aslo.
You know there's different Bangla like dialects. So Sylheti Bangla and then there's like Dhakai Bangla. But like there's more.
More Bangla.
Yeah, there's lots of different ones. But you only know Sylhet. Do you know like a little bit of Dhaka?
I mean, understand how to Dhaka, but I'm not the Farina.
Yeah.
Relativity has not very. That's Akuchi Farina.
Hindi to Rakhi the geek so.
Our friend is from Indian. So, but him da goraile, so but he logo mata lage. Like Bengali Farina. But she speak English. Sometimes English mata.
Yeah.
Then বেশিরভাগ বেটির কাছ থেকে লাভ করে লিখছি মাতি শিখতে বেটির লোকে হিকে লিখছি more than English থেকে Indian বেশি পারি লিখছি she's nice,
Yeah.
she's helper,
Yeah.
lot of things help her to better in her life amazing.
Yeah.
She's a good person.
So English ki landura astastik so.
I mean like not much, the last 6 months আমি language college করছিলাম তোরা লিখছি আর কোন আমি যাইতাছি না পাতে 2015 এ যাইতাছিলাম বাট আমি গেলাম দেরি so এটা আমার ইংলিশ কা
তোমার পাচ্ছেন তো কাছে কি so
বাচ্চান তো কাছ থেকে lot of English
Yeah.
like যে তখন আওয়ার পরে ono জাঙ্গি মামার লগে হিকতাম পারছি না তখন তোমরা লগে হিকছি তো তোমরা তো এক ওয়ার্ডও বাংলা বুঝো না কইতাম না এলে তোমরা ইংলিশে পড়া লাগে সো হিকিলিছি আর জাঙ্গি মামা মিলতো না তো তাহলে তো বরাবর থাকতো সান্নানো তো পারতাম না সো ইয়ে বাচ্চা তো লোক বেশি গেলিছি আর এখন হিকিলিছি আমার স্কুলের বাচ্চা তো লোকে গিয়ারি 300 বাচ্চা 317 sometimes 20.
Okay, mukbang khor. Astaghfirullah. Can we go again, please?
Bangla was your first language. Did you learn any English there?
We have a little literature, grammar, everything. In this way, we learned a little bit English, not very good.
What has been your learning process for English after you arrived at this country?
I did go some language courses. And I gained some basic, and I had to start work because of my family commitment here and there as well. By myself, I tried as much as I can.
What's your first language?
English is my first language. Bengali from parents, relatives. English from everyone's school. Yeah, just first language.
So you only know English from start? That's all you know? That's it?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Do you know how you learn English?
Huh? Food. Speaking. Then you learn the alphabet. Then the reception you learn it.
My first language is English. It's the only language that I can speak fluently and confident. It's so much easier to learn a language when everyone in your surroundings is speaking that language.
So what's your first language?
English.
Do you know any other languages?
I don't quite know any other languages, but I'm learning Spanish.
Do you have any languages you've learned from your family?
No, haven't learned it yet. I'm working on it.
What are you working on?
Bangladeshi. I'm not good.
Bengali?
That one.
Bangla?
I'm attempting to comprehend the language out of Bangla.
Do you know anything else?
Do I know anything else? But generally, do I know anything else? I know Bengali as well, but not very fluently.
Anything else?
Say like Indian language. I actually don't even know what it is. Like, what is it?
Hindi.
I can understand a little bit of Urdu or like Hindi because of Star Plus, but I don't know it like
well do you know each language?
English I know very well, in grade 9 in GCSE. Bengali I don't know very well, but like I can understand it very well.
Know any Bengali one?
Oh no. I can say, what's your name? Tomar naam kitha?
Kutta bacha. No, what does bacha mean?
Child.
Child.
Daughter. Okay.
Do you think you're gonna learn more Bangla the more you grow up?
No.
Do you understand mum and baba when they talk in Bangla? Can you speak back in Bangla?
Never.
Do you wish you could?
Obviously, never can. No.
I can understand it, but like all of it. I can understand everything, but like it's like if I try to speak it back, my brain can't like connect the words to the English words, and I can't do it. I haven't ever like sat down and taught it properly.
So, how well do you know English compared to Bangla?
Like Bangla, like small, and like English, like what?
So, how confident are you with each language?
English. I'm extremely confident, however, there are some words and features that I cannot comprehend yet due to the fact that my brain hasn't been able to develop. However, in terms of Bangladeshi, I haven't attempted to use my resources wisely and able to learn the language like Bangla, but due to the fact that my family members speak it on a regular basis, enables me to learn as we speak. I speak English. People around me understand English, allowing me to develop the idea that I can be communicatable.
So, how do you communicate with people who don't understand English?
Sign language.
Do you know sign language?
I'll try.
Do you think people who weren't born learning English find it easy to learn English?
Yes.
But why is it easy for you to learn it and not them?
Because I'm cool.
Innit, mum knows good English,
In it.
but she's not confident, and
Why
I think
is she not confident? The first language was.
yeah. So, do you think mum will ever feel confident?
Yes. Because she's my mum. My mum is confident.
So do you think people who aren't born learning a language can feel confident speaking that
Yes.
language after?
Yes, because I just said my mum is confident. Have you?
So do you think you'll ever be confident knowing Bengali?
Yes.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
So, how confident would you say you are in English as your second language?
My education period, Bengali was my learning medium. I am not 100% confident, but yes, I can understand. I can speak, and in this country, the accent is different than the South Asia. So we sometimes struggle in this area. But yeah, I am coping.
How meaningful is Bengali to your heritage language?
I prefer Bengali more than any other language, and it is deeply very and honestly very meaningful to me. Bengali is not a new language, almost 3,000 years old language, history behind it. Before 97, we all South Asia, we all were Indian, but then in 1947 they separated from India to Pakistan. So in West Bengal, our side stays with Pakistan because of most of the people are Muslims and they wanted to separate. So, and West Pakistan is currently Pakistan. East Pakistan is currently Bangladesh. Most of the headquarters of the government stays in the current Pakistan. East Pakistani people, almost 100% people speak in Bengali. West Pakistani people, they speak in Urdu. They wanted the Urdu will be only the state language. We wanted our language, Bengali, to be one of the national language. Language quarrel started in 1948. We fight for our right. Eventually, when these things happened, we found that we cannot stay with them for the long period of time. We had a 9-month liberation war against them. In 1971, we finally separate nation and we are proud to be a Bangladeshi.
The language Bangla was instrumental in gaining independence of Bangladesh.
Yeah, we can say this is their first steps and the major steps as well. UNESCO is one of the authority of world's languages, and only the Bengali language in this world. The people died for the language. They recognize this. This is in 1999. This day is the World Language Day.
I feel like with language you can track down exactly where you came from, because
There's so many like dialects.
yeah, there's so many dialects, and you can trace your history.
Things could be very different if like a small thing of the past was changed. So I think it's important to recognize what brought you to the place that you're actually in.
Yeah, but you know, Zalan Yahi Tarazanana, so Tara is a past Tamisa, so Tara Poroya, Tara family, the connected to Fatama. So language the Shashilan.
Now, Tara Horgo, because one Tarazato Boro was that I understand Horgo, Tara language of Trazini. Every people, everyone, they have to balafat their own language on their children. They grow for a lagi, understand for a lagi. So they have to try for the correct to. The Shamatara money is to Horon, that time I'm Marcono. I don't know. Tashin the idea. Because that time I'm Aslam.
If you could learn any language, what language would you choose?
Bengali.
Why would you choose Bengali?
That's the only language I really know. French, no, wouldn't be helpful that much. Spanish wouldn't be very helpful that much. Greek, no.
And why is Bengali more helpful than any other language?
If I go to Bengali test.
So why is it important that you're impressing your dad or your mom? Do you think they'll be more impressed with you? Do you think they'll be more impressed with you if you could speak Bengali?
So how important is it to you that you keep up with your inherited language?
50-50.
Why is that?
Because you're stressing me out. Bangla is a language that not many people speak, so it would be incredibly helpful in later years. But and I have never met someone who has spoken Bangla other than close family members. So
Don't you want to be able to communicate with close family members then?
they understand me, and I can understand them.
So is it difficult for you to learn Bangla?
Yeah, because brains.
How do you feel that you don't know as much Bangla? Like you can understand it, but you can't
Speak it. I don't really care, to be honest. No, I only care when we go to Shalon's house because I feel very awkward because I can't speak to her. But in everyday life, I don't really mind because no one really speaks it. And I'm always like, I wish I knew a language, but I'd rather the language be like a modern foreign language, like French or Spanish. You know, like my parents' language. There's sentimental value to knowing it, and obviously I wish I spoke it. Probably should have learned to communicate more as a child. I'm too whitewashed.
Yes, but like that's not a question. Of course there's a history attached to it, like it's not like Baba and Mum's gonna be like English. They're not gonna be able to ever be confident in English, so I will try my best to communicate with them in Bengali, but like this on a certain extent, because I haven't been taught anymore. So what I do know is very limited.
Do you think it's more important to them that we know English rather than Bengali?
Yeah, 100%. Because we're in this country, they brought us here to have a stable work and career and everything, so I think they're more like, do whatever it takes to succeed over here.
Do you feel like you belong?
Yes. Since I'm born from my mom. Yeah.
Well, language, you must speak in such a long time to get a food because this is your language. My mediation. Speak Kora. So
Do you think you're ever going to go to Bangladesh?
Probably not. Like I wouldn't even know how to act in English. It would be like being a tourist because I just feel like I don't have a connection to the country.
Where do you feel like you belong then?
Not even England, just London. Not even London though, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the only place I know, it's not the place... I don't know how to explain. I know London, but I don't know London, and I don't think I ever will, like most people.
Yeah.
get to. I don't feel like I'm ever quite confident with speaking English, even though it's the only language I speak.
Yeah.
But I don't know where my place is.
How important is your heritage to you?
I would say I find it hard to balance it between like being grown up in this country with like British culture and everything, but I think it's very important to hold that in your family and my future family and everything like that.
Is it valuable to you?
It is extremely important to me and my well-being due to the fact that if it's important, it's stressed over a course of time. And if my family members cannot inherit the language that I have learned, how will my children be able to comprehend with their grandparents? If I have children.
It makes me quite uncomfortable knowing that if I eventually have children, the only link they'll have to the language is not through me. I can't teach myself, so I can't teach them. It would be through like you or my parents.
You know, yai Musa Moni Muchkanuna Tikase, Letaro to Bishi Bangla Zanena.
Muivan mashallah both tafare. She's understand everything. They buze, but they same thing to হইতে পারে না তাই তোমরা সকলটিতে গীতাই বেশি বুঝে দেখছি আর ইয়াহি মুসা এখন কিছু বোঝার চেষ্টা করে বাট ইয়াহি আমার ইয়াহিতে একবারে পারে না হ্যাঁ বাংলায় হওয়ার হইব লাফিং আসছে আর এখন আস্তে আস্তে আমার কাছে থাকি আর কি লিখবো না যারা গেছো
Your children, do you feel like you taught them Bangla properly and they will maintain it and they know it well enough to maintain it and pass it on to their future kids?
My children, when they speak English, they feel more comfortable. When they by themselves, at the home or outside, they always find the English speaker people. They don't find the Bengali speakers people. And it is for the cultural perspective of view and the ethnicity to keep that or pass on to the next generation that we have Bengali. I couldn't take my children to Bangladesh more often because of my very limited income. My children are not very interested about the Bangladesh. That's why I didn't go to the Bangladesh for a long time, like after 17 years.
I think the key difference between families who have been able to help their children learn Bengali better, they grew up in the East End, Tower Hamlets, Whitechapel, that area. It's very South Asian, Bengali populated. So if your community and your surroundings is of that language, it's easier to learn it as a child growing up.
These are main reason the Eastern people can speak Bengali better than us.
So how important do you think it is to keep up with your inherited language?
I still think it's very important. Like even when I have children, I teach them Bengali and I want them to know Bengali and be able to communicate with me in Bengali. But that's your like inheritance. Like you should have a strong connection to it.
Do you think at some point that the inherited language will get lost in the family line?
I hope not. I would hope not, but probably.
Flower nice. Everyone's like flowers fresh things. Nice looking manchurian. Smile now, I do smile like oh look, it's nice flowers. Yeah. So it's I like